A few days ago, Trevor officially released his Tuxedo software update plugin. It's basically a WordPress plugin that updates both plugins and themes. We were using a, let's call it a beta version of the plugin, and it's still available from the download section, and I'm going to keep it available, that older version, because it works. And for most of you, it's going to be the preferable version to use, because it's very easy to set up, and probably going to use it for your own customers, and you don't need any licensing options. If you need to have licensing options, the new version is going to work perfectly for you. So again, the differences between the two versions is that the new version now supports updating themes and plugins. The old version, it was just for themes. And also the new version has licensing options, so you can have two types of limitations: how many websites you can update per license, and the second option is how many days the update is going to work. All right, so before going to the new plugin, I'm going to recap how to set up the old one and how it works. So I've got in this website, I'm using the old version. So basically, it's very simple. You create your update custom post type. So for example, if I go to the Marie theme, you put the title, you put the change log over here, you put the version number, and the version numbers now, it's very important. So let's say in this case it's 1.82.0, the version that I'm serving over here. So in Artisteer, it's the equivalent. When you go to options, you go to description, the template version, that's the version that you put in here for your theme. All right. Then you say, you can say use built-in changelog. So basically, it's going to use this information in here that you're going to put. Otherwise, you can send it to the theme URL if you don't want to use the built-in changelog. And finally, the file, the theme that's going to update all the sites. And basically that's it in terms of setting up the custom post type for the Marie theme. The last thing to do, you need to prepare your theme to hook up to this website to get updated. And basically it's two steps. It's one, to create the file called updater.php in your themes directory, and in your functions file to add this command required once. Everything is almost done for you. The only thing that's left, if you were using this system, is basically get this line. It's the first line of code after the comments that you need to put in your theme, and you're ready to go. So I've got a freshly exported theme that in the functions file, you're going to see the require once updater is in there, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing to make it work now, besides setting that custom post type for each theme, is to find the updater.php file, open it up, and basically replace that line from that website. Let me show you again. This line over here, and replace this with that. And now, when you save it, this theme is ready to get updated, get the updates from this website. So the version numbers is very important now to keep track. So if a new version is added to this website, whatever website is using that particular theme would get a notification and get updated. All right, so that's that. Let's talk about the new one now. Now, before anything else, in order to make the new version of the Tuxedo software updater to work, is to remove of traces of the old one. And I'm going to leave those traces of the old one because, as I said, most of you, I'm guessing that you're going to prefer using the old one. It's easier to set up, and probably you're not going to need any licensing options, since most of you create those the themes for yourselves and your clients, and they're not for distribution or sale. If you want to sell them and have the licensing options, then you need to do the following. So the first thing you need to do is you need to delete the updater PHP file. And also, once you do that, of course, you need to go open the function file and get rid of the required ones, updater PHP, which is on line 19. Save that. And now you're almost ready to make this theme to function, to work with the new official version of the Tuxedo updater plugin. All right, so let's go into the new version. All right, so the first thing you do is set up your WooCommerce. If you want to tie up, you don't have to, but if you want to tie up your WooCommerce products to automatically generate the licenses for you, you can do so. And actually, it's in the products. So I've got two examples that I'm using over here. So I've got the Dallas theme and the Marie theme. So the Dallas theme is actually a virtual and downloadable product. So somebody buys it. There's also going to be a download section in the accounts, in the WooCommerce accounts on the front end. So they're going to be able to download the version as well. That's available here. The Marie product, it's just the license. That means you have to email them or send them, or somehow they need to get the Marie theme. It's not a virtual or downloadable product. It's just a license that you're selling. So I have just the price. I've got some dummy information up there. So it works with downloadable products, or you just want to sell licenses. It's going to be your choice. I'm just showing you all the possibilities. So once you do that, the only thing that you need to remember for each product, it's their ID, because that's how we are going to link the license rules with the WooCommerce IDs, with the themes, through the WooCommerce IDs. All right, so before even doing that, we are going to go to the tools section now and create an update plugin. This is the plugin that you're going to create just once. That's a good thing about it. So this is going to be a WordPress plugin, and it's very similar to what Elegant Themes does. If you want to update the themes, you update their updater plugin, and then you put in the your key that they give you, and then all of the plugins will get the update notification. So this is going to be similar to that. So you put in the plugin name as an example that I have on a site that I can update. The name that I gave it was if I go to plugins, Qt Keep Up. Okay, so that's what we're going to put there here. You can give it any name that you want. Plugin URL. So you're going to put the URL of your site. The description, Quicker Themes or whatever your company name is, update plugin. You're going to put the version 1.0 or whatever version of this plugin you want to have it. You're going to put the author, your name, your URL for your website. The text domain, it's got an example here. You're going to say tuxedo theme plugin update, or in your case, whatever your company is, theme update plugin. And then a prefix, as an example over here, it's got a tuxedo. You can put anything you want. In my case, I just put Qt. The most important thing to remember is the header ID. And this is how you're going to be connecting the licenses to the products. And you're going to see what I mean in a second. So Trevor, as an example, he got a tuxedo update ID. In my case, what I did was Qt update ID. And this is, again, very important. You're going to see in a second why. So then you have the settings menu name. So in the menu, settings menu of the client side, that's going to be the menu. In my case, I believe I put Quicker Themes update. As an example, he's got tuxedo update. And then he's got the admin page header text. And in this case, what do I have? It's Quicker Themes update settings. So you can put anything you want there. And then finally, admin page support URL, and you put the support page for your website that you have. Then when you finish, you download the update plugin. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. And basically, whatever game, whatever name you gave it to, now this is not complete, so you need to complete everything. And you only have to do this once, by the way, again. And the most important thing to remember is the header ID. So once you export it, and again, you do this just once, you're going to create the same file name. You're going to create a folder with the same name as the name of the plugin. In this case was Qt Keep Up. Okay, the same folder exists. So let's say it was Qt Keep Up 2. Just humor me for a second. Move the file in there. Okay, and now create the same zip file with the same name as the folder. And then move the folder in there. So basically now you have, and of course, if it's Keep Up 2 over here, you have to have 2. So basically what you have is the zip file with the plugin's name, .zip, and inside you have the folder with a plugin name, and then the PHP file you just exported from the Tuxedo Updater plugin. Now that particular zip file, you have to give it to your customers or to everyone who wants to get an update. All right, so far, all we did was create some products and create the client plugin. Okay, so next, let's go to the licensing rules. And basically, you have two types of licensing rules you can have for each product. Now, again, a product could be either a plugin or a theme. In this particular example, I have two themes. I don't have any plugins. Now, the first type of update is an open update. Just like the old tuxedo we're using right now, an open license means there are no limitations, there are no licensing rules. It's just like the old one. It's going, whoever's got the plugin that we just created, in this case the Qt Keepup, is going to be able to update the themes or plugins that have open license. Okay, so this is the Dallas theme, and remember the Dallas theme was had a product ID of 207. So if I open the products page again, remember 207, and the Marie is 18. So Dallas 207, Marie 18. Let's go inside and edit it. Now you can create new licenses by manually if you want to, or once you create the product and then the license rules, if somebody goes to your shop and actually buys the product, the Tuxedo Updater automatically is going to create the license for you. So we're going to do that in a second. But before that, let me show you the license rules now. So the two examples. One is an open, the other one is got a limitation. So it's an I did something wrong. I said something wrong actually. The license rules, you have to create them manually. There's no automatic way of doing it. When it comes to the licenses, you can manually create them, or the software updater, the Tuxedo software updater, is going to create those licenses for you automatically when somebody goes on the front end and buys the product. And actually, this is how those licenses were created, and we're going to create a license, another license later on. So before doing that, let's go back to the license rules. So I'm going to edit this, and basically you have the file, your theme that it's going to update. You're going to put the version number. You're going to put what's the compatibility as far as the WordPress version goes. Whether this is an open update or not. So if you check the open update, it doesn't matter the activation limits or the expiration, the number of days before it expires. So an open license is just that. If you don't have an open license, then you can put the number of websites that you can activate this theme on, and how many days before it expires, the updating period. So once you put, let's say the update is for 1 year, 365 days. After that, they're not going to be able to update. They need to come back here and purchase a new license. All right, and you can set up for an automatic update. That means that every 12 hours, the WordPress is going to be connecting the client websites to this particular website and check whether there's an update. And if there's an update, automatically the theme or plugin is going to get updated. And this is where you link the product to the licensing rule. So remember, the Dallas was product ID 207. This is very important. You put it in there. Put the product name and the product URL, which is basically the WooCommerce page for the Dallas theme. And that's it. Now, the second example, the Marie theme. Everything is pretty much the same, just the product ID is 18. And now I've got an activation limit of 1, which means he can receive updates on only one website. And the updates are going to expire in 365 days. So I've got two set of limitations. You can set just one. To be honest, the activation limit is not a big deal because anyone can either manually get an update on one website and FTP the theme or plugin to thousands of websites, and that's fine. Or they can simply, from the front end, they can delete activations, so they can deactivate an installation and then use that activation somewhere else. You're going to see what I mean in a second. So those are the licensing rules. So when somebody buys a product, automatically a new license is going to show up here. So let's go buy another product. So right now there are 2 licenses. So on the front end, before buying a new license, if you go to my account, you're going to see that in the download section, even though Marie was bought, only Dallas is available for download because if you remember, Dallas was a downloadable product while Marie was not, just a license. So, and also besides the downloads, you have a new link called update licenses. And in the update licenses, you get your update key that you're going to put in the plugin you created that you're going to be giving it to your customers, if you remember. And then below that, it's going to list all your purchased licenses, okay? Now, the only licenses that you're going to see here are the actual licenses and not the open licenses. The open licenses, they're not really licenses, they're just open. That's why they're not listed. There are no limitations. However, you're going to see that Marie was bought twice, and it was used once, and each has, one activation allowed, each license. So this is already been activated, and I can delete the activation here and activate it somewhere else. And I've got a second activation of this plugin that I can use it on some other website. You can also see that there are 330 days left before the updates expire, and I need to purchase a new one. So let's go purchase a new license for Marie. I'm going to go with cash on delivery. Now the license, it's not going to show up. Okay, we're good to go. The license is not going to show up until it's completed. So I will need to go to, if you go to licenses, you're going to see that there's still only 2. But if I go to the orders and complete this latest order, automatically a new license is going to be there for me. Licenses, there's a third one, okay? There's no activations yet, and I've got the expiration date and the creation date, and it's basically that's it as far as the licenses in the backside. Now if I go on the front end as a customer and go to my account, update licenses, you're going to see that the third license is here. and it's got 365 days, 1 year from today's date, basically, because that's how I set up the rules. All right. Now, before going to the client side, there's a few more other things I want to show you. So back to the tools section. You can reprocess orders. Those are all the WooCommerce orders. And I just realized that before almost setting up anything else, you have to, and by default they're turned on, so you don't have to really worry about it. But in case you want to turn something off or not, it's detected, the plugin correctly detected that WooCommerce is active. I believe this version also works with easy digital downloads. And you can enable or disable the WooCommerce integration. If you disable the WooCommerce integration, when somebody buys a product, the licenses, obviously, they're not going to be automatically created. You will need to go to the licenses over here and manually create licenses. So basically, you put the user ID, which you can get the user IDs from the users. Okay. You have to put the product ID. In this case, it's the Marie theme, so it's 18. If it has a child product ID, these are basically if you have any options in your product, and we're going to do that later on too. And then the order ID, and that's the WooCommerce order ID, and then when it was created. Okay, but once you, that's how to manually, if you wanted to create a license. If you set it up with WooCommerce, the licenses will be generated for you automatically. All right, so the last thing left to see is tracking. These are all the information that every single time a theme or a website connects to this website that serves all the updates, all the connections that are made, they're shown over here. So you can also see the back and forth, the request and the response. And that's about it as far as the Tuxedo plugin goes on the server side. This is how the site where serves the updates, basically. All right, so on the client side, remember the plugin we created from the tools? You just give it to your clients, the zip file, and they just install and activate it just like any other WordPress plugin. All right. So in the settings, the name that you gave it in while creating the plugin, in this case, Cooker Themes Update, you're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna put your update key. If you, the update key is only necessary when you actually have licensed products. If you have open products like Dallas that says it never expires, you don't need a license key. So if I remove the license key, you're gonna see that Dallas, because it's an open license, if you remember, is still detected, and it's available to get updated when the new update is going to be available. Another big change that between the older version of the Tuxedo updater software updater and the new one is that because the updates now are done through a independent plugin as opposed to connecting the themes to the server with each plugin. Doesn't matter if your themes or plugins are active or not. They're going to be listed here and get notifications or automatically get updated. With the older version, only the active only the active themes would get the notification and get updated. So this is big. So in this case, um, I'm going to be able to update both of the available themes that I have here, whether they're active or not. The active theme is Marie, by the way. And once I put the actual license key that it was provided for me, it's correctly checking for its validity and then telling me how many days I have. Okay, so and over here I've got a notification that I've got an update to the Marie theme. Oh, to the Dallas theme. Okay, so all I have to do now is basically click on the update and I'll get the update. So you can also get the version details over here, which is going to send you to the page, to the WooCommerce page of the product, which we set in the licensing rules. And basically that's it, except one more thing I just remembered. If we go back to the site that's serving all the updates, if you go to the users, and there's only one user here, you get a section where it shows you the update key, and for whatever reason you can go ahead and generate a new update key, and it's going to generate a new update key when you press update at the bottom of the page, update profile. Or simply, if you want to, for whatever reason, you want to disable the updates for this user or not. So it doesn't matter if it's got a valid key or not, it's going to get disabled. And I think I've covered badly my ad. Everything, pretty much everything that has to do with the old and new updater. No, I haven't. I forgot one of the most important things. Now, if you remember, we need to make the themes now updatable. If you remember in the tools, when we're creating the plugin, remember I told you the header ID. And this is very important. And if you remember, the example here, it says tuxedo update ID. And I said in my case, I put QT update ID. You need to put that in your products. And remember the product ID. So as an example, in case of the Marie, the product ID was 18. So in this case, if we go into the CSS, in the style.css file, this is where you put that information. So I usually put it under the version number, the Qt update ID, right there, and then colon, space, and then the number, the product number, which is 18. So now you have all the information. So once again, you create the client plugin and put it in a folder with a plugin name, and then same name in a zip file. Give it to the clients. The clients, once they buy the product from your WooCommerce store, they are going to get their user key, which is going to be good for any product that they buy, whether it's 1 or 50. And then automatically WooCommerce and actually the Tuxedo software updater is going to generate the licenses each time they buy a product. And the licenses can be either open license, which means it doesn't have a license. It can get licenses forever, or with the limitations of how many activations, how many websites it can, that theme or plugin can get updated, and how many days. And lastly, you need to get that header ID and put it in your either theme or plugin in the header section, and connect it with the actual product ID number, so you can your theme can link up to the updater site, and then link up the product. And now I believe I covered everything that has to do with the old tuxedo updater and the new one. I'm sure you're going to have questions, so if you have any questions, just ask, and I'll try to answer them.